In this video, I discuss why your 2026 Social Security COLA raise may not have been a raise at all, and how a hidden deduction erased all or a big part of it. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Gang, the Social Security Administration announced a 2.8% cost of living adjustment for 2026. Now that sounds like a raise, and for most retirees, it was supposed to be a raise. But here's what the announcement left out, and what it cost a lot of people to find out on their own. Medicare Part B premiums jumped 9.7% this year, from $185 to $202.90 a month. And since Medicare is automatically deducted from your Social Security check before it ever hits your bank account, that increase came right out of your raise. For millions of retirees, the 2026 COLA was smaller than advertised, and in some cases, much smaller. In this video, I want to show you exactly how the math works and who got hit the hardest. I also want to cover the hold harmless rule and what it does and doesn't protect you from. And most importantly, I want to talk about what you can do going forward to protect yourself. All right, let's get into it. There's something worth keeping in mind as we go through this. Your Social Security COLA number is a gross number, not a net number. What the SSA announces every October is the increase before Medicare. What you actually receive is what's left over after Medicare takes its share. Those two numbers aren't the same, and in most years, the gap between them has been getting wider. Now, I want to be precise here because this matters. There's a federal protection called the hold harmless provision, and it says that your net Social Security check can't go down year over year solely because of a Medicare premium increase. So if your COLA increase in dollars was less than the Medicare premium hike, the Medicare increase was capped for you. You weren't left worse off than the prior year. But, and this is the part most people miss, hold harmless is not the same as getting a raise. If your COLA added $12 to your check and Medicare went up $17, hold harmless keeps Medicare's increase to $12. Your net check stays flat. You got $0 extra. That's not a raise, that's survival mode. And candidly, the confusion makes complete sense. When you hear 2.8%, you do the math. And if your monthly benefit is, say, $2,000, you expect roughly $56 more per month. That's what the headline says you're getting. So when your actual check barely moves, or doesn't move at all, it's confusing. It feels wrong, and a lot of people assume something is broken or there was an error. Nothing's broken, and the system is working exactly as it was designed. The problem is that the design was never really explained to most people, so when the SSA announces the COLA number and the CMS announces the Medicare premium number, nobody stands up and says, here is your net raise after Medicare does its thing. There's no reason why you'd automatically know to reconcile the two numbers. This is not a new problem. It's a structural problem. And over the past 10 years, Medicare Part B premiums have grown at roughly double the rate of Social Security COLAs. And 2026 is a stark example of that. In 2026, Part B grew 3.46 times the rate of COLA. The years when COLAs are large, like 2022 or 2023, you net something very meaningful. The years when COLAs are modest, Medicare takes most of it. Gang, Medicare can be confusing. It can be overwhelming. Just ask anybody who's age 65 or older, and they'll tell you that this is true. They'll spend hours analyzing all of the plan options and make a choice only to get it wrong, costing them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year. Now, on this channel, we have 3 affiliate relationships. One is our trusted Medicare partner, Chapter. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that looks at and recommends every plan. They're totally free to you. They save their clients an average of $1,100 per year, and they take about 20 minutes of your time. And frankly, they're really easy to work with. So if this is of interest to you, give them a call at 440-703-1224 to see if they can help. Now, let me walk you through exactly how the 2026 math works for a real person. Take someone with a Social Security benefit of $1,800 a month going into 2026. A 2.8% COLA increase is $50.40. That brings them up to $1,850.40 per month. Their Medicare Part B premium goes from $185 to $202.90. That's $17.90. Their net gain, $32.50 per month, about $390 for the year. Now take someone with a smaller benefit, say $900 a month. Their 2.8% COLA adds $25.20, and Medicare went up $17.90, so they net $7.30 a month. That's $87 more a year. Even if inflation runs 3%, that person lost ground in real terms. The COLA announcement said 2.8%, but their lived experience was a fraction of that. And then there's a third group entirely, the people Hold Harmless doesn't protect. New Medicare enrollees as an example. Also people who weren't receiving Social Security when the prior premium was set, and anyone subject to IRMAA surcharges. IRMAA stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. If your modified adjusted gross income 2 years ago exceeded $109,000 as a single filer or $218,000 as a couple, you pay more than the standard Part B premium, significantly more. For IRMAA payers, Hold Harmless does not apply at all. Their full premium increase hits regardless of what their COLA was. And because IRMAA is based on income from 24 months ago, a lot of retirees get caught by it unexpectedly. They have a Roth conversion, a sale of a home. They have a high year of net investment distributions, and these didn't get fully accounted for. COLA still helps them, but it helps them less. There's something about the COLA that a lot of people find surprising when they see it clearly for the first time. It was never designed to give you a raise. It was designed to preserve purchasing power, to keep you flat. That's all. And in 2026, Medicare grew at 3.46 times the rate of COLA. Now, that's not a rounding difference. That's a structural gap. And in the years like this one, the COLA doesn't even come close to keeping you even. Now, your check in this instance quietly falls behind. The second insight is this. Because Medicare is deducted before your check arrives, most people never see this happening in real time. You don't write a check to Medicare once a month. In fact, you don't see the line item at all. You just notice vaguely that when you make your deposit, it's not as large as expected. That mechanism is invisible. And that invisibility is exactly why most retirees don't realize how much ground they've given up over time. Over a 20-year retirement, if Medicare premiums continue growing at a rate of 6% while COLA grows at 3%, a retiree couple could pay $55,000 more in cumulative Medicare Part B premiums than if the premiums had grown at only the rate of COLA. That's a meaningful difference, and it's one that most retirement plans don't have a line item for. Now let me bring in my friends Callum and Marvin Miller, twins both retired at 65, both with Social Security benefits of $2,100 a month, same starting point, but they planned their retirement budgeting differently. And when it came to healthcare costs, 5 years in, the difference showed up clearly. Callum built his retirement budget using gross Social Security numbers. He saw the COLA announcement every year and did the math on his gross benefit and felt like he was keeping up, but he never modeled what Medicare was taking out of his check on the other side. When his net deposit came in lighter than expected each January, he just assumed that there was some rounding. He never looked closely. Marvin built his budget around his net deposit, the number that actually hit his bank account. Every year in October, when the SSA announced the COLA, Marvin would wait for the Medicare announcement in November before updating his projections. He modeled both numbers together, and he was never surprised in January. And because he expected Medicare to grow faster than COLA, he had built a small healthcare buffer into his monthly spending plan. Now, Callum isn't bad with money, he just used the wrong starting number. The gross COLA figure is the one SSA puts in the press release. The net figure is the one that matters for you. Marvin understood the difference, and that understanding was worth over $12,000 across 5 years without changing a single spending habit. The good news is that none of these steps are complicated. A few targeted things can close most of the gaps between what you expect and what actually landed in your account. The first is simply finding your real number. Your My Social Security account at SSA.gov has a benefit verification letter you can pull at any time. It breaks down your gross benefit and your Medicare deduction so you can see actual net deposits, not the headline COLA figure. The second worth checking is whether IRMAA applies to you and whether you might have been caught by it in an unexpected income event a few years ago. IRMAA is based on your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years ago, so your 2026 Medicare premium is based on your 2024 earnings. A Roth conversion, a large capital gain, a home sale, you may be paying a surcharge right now without realizing it. Cross-reference your 2024 tax return with the IRMAA thresholds. This takes about 5 minutes. Third, it's worth building Medicare cost growth into your retirement projections rather than treating it as a flat number. Historically, Part B premiums have grown at somewhere in the range of 5 to 7% a year. Now, if that holds, someone 10 years from retirement could be looking at Part B premiums of $360 a month rather than $202.90 a month, which is what it is today. That's a meaningful difference, and that compounds over time. Fourth, if you're married and both of you are receiving Medicare, all these numbers need to apply twice. The IRMAA thresholds are higher for couples, but if you hit them, they still stack, and there are 5 IRMAA tiers above the standard premium in 2026. A couple at the very top pays $1,379.80 a month just in Part B premiums before any supplement, before Part D, and before deductibles. That's over $16,000 a year that a lot of retirement plans don't have a line item for. And here's the bottom line. The 2026 2.8% COLA for a lot of retirees actually landed in their accounts at a fraction of that. Not because anything went wrong, but because nobody explained how the math actually works. The gross number gets the headline, the net number is what pays your bills. The people who navigate this well are people who know the number. So check it every January and model Medicare costs at a realistic growth rate. And of course, make sure you're on the right Medicare plan so that you're not paying more than you need to. If you like this video, check out that video, the 5 big changes to Social Security for 2026. And don't forget to give our partner Chapter a call at 440-703-1224 if you have questions about Medicare. This is Jeff Schmidt, and I will see you in that video right there.